Let's talk about Ron Paul, because he just won another straw poll in California, and he keeps winning straw polls, but it doesn't really mean very much. Ron Paul supporters out there? Yes, Ron Paul won the straw poll in California. So see, we are talking about Ron Paul.
Also, Congressman Ron Paul won the straw poll vote.
Well, Ron Paul he's out there.
What was the audience's reaction when they said Congressman Paul was the winner?
Audible gasp and even some boos.
I mean, these straw polls don't mean very much anyway.
What do you make of Ron Paul winning the straw poll?
Not much.
A stunning victory in a critical contest this weekend. Herman Cain won the Florida straw poll on Saturday, scoring as many votes as Governor Perry and Romney combined. Herman Cain taking the top spot in the Florida Republican straw poll. Look at this, blowing away his closest competitor Rick Perry with 37% of the vote.
Doesn't really mean very much.
Herman Cain has won the Presidency 5 straw poll. The closeness of the Perry-Romney numbers, putting them at 15 and 14%, suggests that those two are going to be in a very, very tough battle.
Doesn't really mean very much.
Herman Cain winning handily.
For Herman Cain, this is a tremendous triumph.
I mean, these straw polls don't mean very much anyway.
This now means his fundraising, his name recognition, the ability for him to command attention will skyrocket.
I mean, these straw polls don't mean very much anyway.
Mr. Cain, congratulations to you. You must be feeling pretty good today.
When you've got your name plastered all over the media, you know, day after day after day.
Herman Cain has won the straw
But for Herman Cain, this is a tremendous...
Candidate Herman Cain joining
Herman
us.
Cain, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Herman Cain.
Herman Cain.
Okay, let's look at the numbers. Here are the favorable unfavorables right now on the Republican frontrunners. Gingrich, 63% unfavorable, 25% favorable. Look at that spread. Romney, 54% unfavorable, 34 favorable, a 20-point spread there. Santorum, he's relatively okay, 38% unfavorable, 32% favorable. He at least, well, he doesn't have a positive, but he does have a bad negative.
On television or online, you are going to feel the wrath of some serious followers. We've been dealing with this the last few weeks at CNBC. We did an online poll after the debate of who won the debate. Ron Paul dominated the debate, and some of my colleagues at CNBC thought that there was something wrong with that. They took the poll down.
Truthfully, everybody thinks in the House, everybody's thought that he's been crazy for a while. As far as too conservative, too libertarian, he's an independent, very independent guy. He doesn't play by the rules, and so he's always sort of been off by himself in the Republican caucus.
Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately.
Even if he runs as a Republican or as an independent, he could really hurt whomever the Republican nominee is, because still nobody thinks, even if he does well here in New Hampshire, that he will ultimately be the nominee. And I'm sure you talk to Republicans who are worried as well, just like I am, that Ron Paul will continue on, who are worried as well, just like I am, who are worried as well, just like I am.
You know, I feel like I'm in a nightmare, and I can't wake up, John. And I really don't, you know, I wish I knew what to do. You know, the thing is, I have solutions, but, you know, I said I would go to Congress, I'd line up every member of Congress, and I'd have Ron Paul, who I believe is probably the more honest ones there. I say, Ron, point out the honest and dishonest.
I like Ron Paul, he's nuts.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like him.
All right, well, there you go.
He's nuts, but anyway, I'd chalk out every dishonest politician that's up there.
Yeah.
You know, and believe me, in the political world, I'd be killing half the people.
We are in the business of kicking candidates out of the race.
The media doesn't believe that Ron Paul has a hoot and hell's chance of winning the Iowa caucuses winning the Republican nomination or winning the presidency. So we're going to ignore him.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, Howard, because that's the one thing Donald Trump has ever been right about is that he's unelectable. I mean, I think, my favorite part of the debate Thursday night is that, Rick Santorum broke the golden rule of Republican debates, and that's pretending Ron Paul is invisible. So, I mean,
It's just Ron Paul is going to destroy this party.
Paul's doing very well out in Iowa, and I don't think that's going to thrill a lot of the Republican establishment.
Right now, live, right next to the bus behind us, Ron Paul is speaking, and 7 of the candidates are here today. We have live pictures of Ron Paul, but you know what? We're talking about Sarah Palin, and we're talking about Rick Perry, the two people not in the race yet, Drew.
And guess what, Paul? If you get video of Sarah Palin or get a soundbite from her, bring that back to us. You can hold the Ron Paul stuff.
We have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. Really fair to say? You're not forgetting, I don't know, anyone, say an ideologically consistent 12-term congressman who came within less than 200 votes of winning the straw poll? Isn't anyone going to give that gentleman a little love?
There's a top tier now of Bachmann and Perry and Romney, and, we haven't mentioned, and we should.
Thank you.
We haven't mentioned, and we should, Rick Santorum, who did really surprisingly well for the amount of money and resources he had.
Rick Santorum? He didn't get half of what Ron Paul got. He lost to the guy who lost so bad he dropped out of the race. Santorum?
We're looking at Mitt Romney, who continues to be the front runner, but we have Rick Perry as well, and now Michelle Bachmann. Let's not count out John Huntsman, though.
What? John Huntsman? Huntsman got 69 votes. This pretending Ron Paul doesn't exist for some reason has been going on for weeks.
A new Gallup survey showing Rick Perry running second to Mitt Romney, knocking down Iowa favorite Michelle Bachmann to fourth.
Behind who? Fourth behind who? How did Libertarian Ron Paul become the 13th floor in a hotel? Why? What's wrong with... He is Tea Party patient zero. All that small government grassroots business, he planted that grass. These other folks, they're just moral majorities in a tri-cornered hat. Ron Paul's the real deal, and Fox News should love this guy.
Question tonight, is Ron Paul being ignored by the media? Log on to jerrywillis.com. Take the poll on the right-hand side of your screen. I'll share the results at the end of tonight's show. Earlier this hour, we debated whether presidential candidate Ron Paul is getting enough attention. He basically tied with Michelle Bachmann in this weekend's straw poll, but she got all the news coverage, not to mention his Texas colleague Rick Perry stealing all the headlines. So we asked on jerrywillis.com, is Ron Paul being ignored by the media? 97% of you said yes, he is. 3% said no. And listen to this. We had voters